Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are building the Blokees Tarn comic version of the Blokees Action Edition. So I was gonna wait to build this later on, but I was so excited when I got it that I had to build it immediately. So here we have 3 different faces for him, but there's one where it's just regular face, smiling face, and there's a damaged face. And I chose to go with the damaged face one. I thought that looks a bit more unique, and I think also more true to the comics, because I remember seeing something on YouTube about the Tarn comics, and they had a image of him with a damaged face. And to be honest, I didn't know much about Tarn when I first started this channel. But later on I saw something on YouTube about it, and that's when I started being really interested in this character. And when Blokees introduced them, I snatched it up immediately, ordered it. It looked pretty cool actually on the box and on the on their website. And after building it, it actually looks pretty cool. It's pretty hefty looking, like really large and hefty. And it looks pretty intimidating when you put him next to Optimus or Megatron or even Soundwave. So definitely a great model to have and to build. And as far as the building goes, it's actually not too bad. There were a few pieces that were a little bit difficult, and you'll see later on. But for the most part, it was pretty good. And for only $39, it's a steal, really, for such a great model. He looks great, doesn't he? And these 2 little parts here, the one on the left, you'll need that if you're gonna put the mask on, because that mask goes through that little hole, and the other one you can't really put the mask on, and that's a tiny little piece there. Be careful you don't lose it. And I had a little bit of difficult time trying to figure it out how it goes in, because it doesn't really lock in until you put it in there in the head. And of course you can't really see it once you put the mask on. You can't see his face or that little red thing there. Now the eyes do light up, but they're very dark when you have the mask on. And there's two different ones. I chose that one with the scratches on it instead of the plain looking one. So it kind of fits with the face with scratches on it. As you can see there, you need that little hole there to put the mask in there. But yeah, the eyes light up, but you can't really see it too well with the mask on. And he definitely looks like a Decepticon there with that Decepticon mask icon or logo. It looks nice though. I mean, I gotta admit that this Tarn is probably the most detailed and extremely intricate Transformers model kit that I've ever built. It's almost like a master grade for Gundam model kits. I mean, Blokees did an incredible job on this Tarn Action Edition. And it almost makes me want to get the Optimus Prime Orion Pax Action Edition that I passed on, just to see if it's as intricate and as detailed as this Tarn model kit. But I don't know, I'm still debating it. Yeah, I wasn't that thrilled about the Orion Pax one. And as I'm editing this video, I found out that Blokees actually made another action edition, which is the Megatron one again, but this time it's all purple, which is kind of strange. It's sort of like the purple from Unicron from the movie, when Unicron turns Megatron purple and turns him into Galvatron. So I'm not really that thrilled about it. I wish they would have done something else, a different character, or maybe even Galvatron instead of doing another Megatron, but with different colors. Yeah, so I might actually skip that one. So this part here is a little confusing. Yeah, I had a hard time doing this one, especially that bottom part there. So be careful, you have to make sure you put it in the right place, because there's a front side and a back side for that crotch part. That bottom part, that circular stuff should be at the top, and that's the front. And this part here, it's very difficult to put together. It wouldn't snap together. I had a hard time using my fingers, so I had to use pliers. See, I'm so glad I bought that plier. I've been using it a lot lately. I had to do it multiple times. And it just kept falling apart. Kept coming out. And if I try to twist that part, it just comes out again. So I try not to twist it. Which is kind of weird, because usually Blokees does a really good job at this stuff. And it's usually a lot easier to assemble. Especially after having to assemble the Flame Toys Megatron one. That was a pain. And this one was also a little bit of a pain there, trying to put that together, but not too bad. But I would recommend getting pliers like that, hobby pliers without teeth. Now this one is a little confusing. You have to look at the R and the R. It goes together. Make sure you have the right ones. Yeah, because once it's in, it's pretty much in. It'll be very difficult trying to take it apart. And it's a little confusing on the manual how to put this together. Took me a while. As you can see, I edit a lot of that out. Me trying to figure out how to put them together. That's an L, the left side. It does take some force to get these together. And like I said, I'm kind of surprised because usually it's a lot simpler and easier with Blokees. Well, except for that Megatron head. That was tough. But the other ones were pretty good. The Optimus Prime one and the Soundwave ones. Soundwaves was probably the easiest that I've ever built, and Optimus Prime also. Yeah, with this Tarn one, there were some difficult situations. As you can see, the bottom part's still not fully connected. It's still a little bit loose. Kind of keeps coming apart. And I'm not sure if it came completely apart or not, because I've twisted the waist a few times after I finished building it. And as you can see again here, the waist part, it just wouldn't come together. Eventually I just gave up and let it be where it was, or where it is. Yeah, that's probably one of the most difficult part there. Just wouldn't come together. And I didn't want to use the pliers for that because I might actually damage the model. I used the pliers for the inside where you can't see, but the outside you're gonna see it. So I didn't want to damage it. and I also want to thank all of you guys for the support, and some of you have actually subscribed, which is great. And I've been hearing that you guys have actually been building along with me on some of my model kits. So I'm glad to hear that and glad to be helpful to all of you. And I know there are other YouTubers who are doing these builds that are like 10 minutes and they're done, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. I want to be able to help you guys build and kind of build along with me. So this way you don't make the same mistakes that I've made and you don't end up breaking your model or anything. Yeah, I'll be your guinea pig for building these models, and I can tell you what's good or bad about it and what to be careful of. Yeah, so make sure you snap these in there. It looked like it was in until I pushed it in more and it snapped in. So make sure there's a snap. See, like that. Because it looks like it's in, but it's not completely in until you hear that snap. So yeah, this model kit's very detailed. There's some intricate moving parts that I've never seen on a Blokees model kit. So they've actually kind of advanced a bit, gotten better and better. And I'm surprised it didn't get more expensive. I mean, they could have easily charged like $50 for this. With the amount of detail and intricacies. And I thought this was pretty ingenious, putting these tracks on here, the way they snap on. Okay, so this piece here, don't make the same mistake that I'm about to make. Yeah, I put this in the wrong way. It should be the opposite way. See how it's in the wrong position? It's like front and back. I finally figured out. And here's my second mistake that I'm about to make. I was putting the back part and that long part in the back, I had it outside. You're supposed to slot it inside like that. You see, it kind of goes in. And make sure that that top part gets pushed down like that. So you can actually put it in place properly. See, push it down and then push that in There you go. Yeah, at first I had it on the outside. I didn't put it on the inside. So it didn't quite work. So, like I said, it's pretty intricate and detailed here. They didn't really need to do that, but they did it. And it looks great. Just an extra detail. See the back part, that bottom part, the circular part's on the bottom. So make sure that's the back part. And these tracks just snap together. Pretty easy. It's a little confusing which way it went though. It's either up or down. I wasn't sure. I just tried both ways. But then you see that little part there, that big part. Yeah, that goes on the bottom. That just closes down. Yeah, a lot of little details. See, if I just like bought a action figure of Tarn, I wouldn't be able to have all of these little details and intricacies. Took me a while to figure out how this thing goes. I edit most of that out, me trying to figure it out. But I finally figured out. Took a while. Now these little chest wings, they're actually a little bit in the way when you do the final assembly and you put the shoulder on him. It kind of blocks his movements a bit because it kind of sticks out from the sides and the top. And so when you're trying to move the shoulder and the arm, it gets in the way. That sharp part kind of gets in the way. And you'll see when it's assembled. And this little piece here, I'm not sure why it needs to be able to swing back and forth like that. Because once you assemble it onto the chest piece, you can't really move it. So it's unmovable, even though you could move it right now. Yeah, this was a little complicated. Took me a while to figure out how this little gray thing goes. But yeah, the smaller part goes on the bottom and that part goes on top. Yeah, it's a little difficult trying to put it in. Just make sure you don't end up bending it or breaking it. I think I bent it a little bit, actually. As you can see here, it comes out. But once you put it onto the model, onto the chest, you really don't want to have it spread out because then you won't be able to move the arms at all. And I'm not sure what the purpose is in the comic book, if that actually spreads out and does something. But yeah, it's just one of those little quirks that Blokees like to add in. Kind of like with Megatron's legs and Soundwave's legs kind of pop out on the sides of their legs. It's like totally useless, but it's there. It's one of those little details. See here, once it's attached, it kind of gets in the way a bit when you put the shoulder on, because the shoulder's angled inward. I'm a little too OCD with those little parts there where, you know, you kind of pop them out. I forgot what they're called, but yeah. At first I didn't pay that much attention to it. I just popped it out the runner and put them in. But then later on I started cleaning them up and using the my knife to really smooth it out. I also use my fingernails to try to get rid of that white part the best that I could. The fingernails actually works really great. I mean, I saw a tip of it, and someone giving a tip on building models on YouTube. Just like that, just use your fingernails. And usually it works. Not always, but usually it does work. But the only problem is that I have one right at the top of the chest there that I can't seem to get rid of. I might have to try some other techniques. I have one of those sponges, what do you call it, like sanding sponges? One of the God hand sanding sponges. So I might try one of those one of these days. I think it goes up to like 20,000 grit or something like that. So this flap here, make sure it's on the front side, because there's a little thing in the back there that stops it from flapping too far back, which is pretty good. That's neat to have. Because I remember doing the other one, the Megatron Flame Toys one, and they didn't have that, and it kept flapping all the way back there, and it was difficult trying to get it popping out again. So to have something that stops it from going back too far is great. Love it. See, you can't really mix up the front and back. That's why I told you to have that circular part at the top in the front. And it's looking pretty good for the torso. But it's not completely done yet. Here's the back part, the backpack kind of area there. And I like these little touches of gold. Well, they're not really gold, they're more like yellowish gold. But not as bad as the Gundam model yellowish gold, if you've ever seen one of those. Yeah, the Gundam gold is pretty bad, especially the older models. They don't look gold at all, it's just puke yellow. I think the newer ones kind of look a little bit better, but not that much better. I mean, for me it is. It's not that much better. Some would disagree. Alright, so this is a little complicated. Make sure you follow it exactly like this, because it does get really complicated. See, that part goes into there. And there's a hinge. There's another hinge, but you need to attach that bottom part first. Make sure it goes out the other way there. That long part goes out the back. Then you can attach these two together. There you go. And it hinges forward or upwards. And I totally forgot that you could hinge it upward like that after I finished it. I didn't realize it until after I finished everything. Like after I finished taking the photos and all of that. And I just realized later that you could actually flip it over or up. So I went back and I photographed some of it with the backpack upwards, and the guns kind of pointing outward and pulling it out, because that part could actually move outward too, the gun part, and you'll see. So you can see here the gold piece actually looks pretty good. They don't look like puke gold. Yeah, it took me a while to figure this thing out. Nope. Yeah, the other way. There you go. Yes, you see, I edit some of that out. Took me a while to figure it out. And this part here, it seems pretty fragile, so be careful not to break that piece as you're trying to slide it through. And we're done with one side. Well, not yet done. Still got the gun, or whatever you call it. Might be a missile, not a gun. And I don't recall it really matter which way it goes in. The front part or the back part, they're both kind of the same. And this part here, see, it goes in, but you could actually pull it out. And I totally forgot about that until I was done building it and then photographing it. Yeah, that little piece here, I actually went back and I removed it and tried to make the top part pointing upward. As you can see here, it's pointing inward. That little notch on the right there, it's pointing inward. And on the image, on the manual, it's pointing upward. So I actually removed it. See, I removed it and redid it later. As you can see it here, you could, that rocket part, you see how that's up? That little notch kind of points upward. Yeah, went back and removed it and reinstalled it. Just to make it look nice. Like in the manual. I mean, didn't really have to. You can't really see it once it's installed. And believe it or not, when Well, actually, when I bought this Tarn from Blokees, like a week later, I heard online that YOLO Park came out with a Tarn version of their own, and I actually snapped it up and bought one, and I ordered one, and it's coming in about a couple of days. So I'll have 2 Tarns to contend with here. But I'm guessing the YOLO Park one isn't really a model kit. They said it is, but I've seen other YOLO Park model kits and they're kind of already pre-built, where you just snap them together, like the arms and legs and all that. But from what I can see in the pictures, it looks pretty good. It looks like a really nice looking Tarn model, and also the nickel looks really good. And I gotta say, theirs might look better, especially nickel looks better than the Blokees version. So I'm a little anxious to see how that looks compared to the Blokees. I'll try to have them side by side. Don't know if I'll make a video out of it. I might. But if I'm gonna be doing unboxing and assembling of the YOLO Park Tarn, you'll see the difference. I don't know, maybe if I have time I'll do a comparison. Can I show you side by side both versions? And the backpack looks pretty cool. Yeah, seems like I didn't really totally install that one until it's snapped in. And look at that, it looks so complicated. Looks very detailed. Yeah, Blokees need to do more of these detailed action edition. And you know, I really appreciate companies who kind of go out of their way to make things look nice, even though you can't really see certain parts, but they still add those little details in there. It kind of shows you that they really care about what they're doing and they care about their customers. Especially when I see little details that I feel like they really didn't need to do, but they did it anyway. I mean, I can't say the same with all the companies who built models. Or who attempt to sell model kits. Now these pieces here took me a while to figure them out. Yeah, I was really confused which way it was supposed to go. I actually edit most of this stuff out. You couldn't tell. Oh, it should look exactly like that. At first I had it going the opposite way. The hole was going the opposite way, but I edit that out. And this piece here, it's not completely circular. As you can see here, there's a flat spot there. So you want to make sure it goes together there, the flat part with the flat part. Luckily I noticed it before I tried to install it. That would have frustrated me. Okay, I just installed one and I'm already forgetting how to install this other one. Exact same one as the other one. Once again, not all that smart. So that goes into the little slot there. Yeah, it's hard to see. I almost missed it. I mean, honestly, I didn't even notice it before. Nice little touch with a little jewel or that red thing on the side. Now this part, I kind of had a hard time putting this on there because it didn't go in at first. I think you have to like turn it around and then it goes in. So if it doesn't go in one way, just twist it to a 180 and try again the other way. So this goes in now. And the same with this thing. Yep, I just turned it around and it goes in. It looks good. Very nice looking tracks. So make sure you got the correct position there. The flat part towards you. And I've been watching some YouTube videos with YouTubers kind of debating a little bit about what's better, if it's model kits or action figures. And I've been thinking about that myself. And for the people who like to build models, then yeah, model figures are the way to go. And since I like building them, I guess the building model kits are better for me. I don't like to just buy an action figure and that's it. You don't really have any knowledge of them, or you didn't build it, you know? You didn't make it yourself. So it just feels kind of empty for me. But if I actually built them myself, I feel like I created something and that's mine. And you kind of have a sense of pride and accomplishment in building these pieces or these kits. So I don't think I'll be buying any action figures anytime soon. Unless if it's really, really good. Like I think the Yellow Park one, the Tarn Yellow Park one that I bought, that might be kind of a action figure more so than the model kit. But I'll have to see. Now this little piece here, it's a little complicated. Goes up there. Yeah, it took me a while to figure that out. I wanted to show you the joint, how it moves. See, that's the arm piece. You can pull it out and bend it. So after it's assembled, if you need to move his arm a bit, you need more flexibility, just pull it out and bend it. Now this piece here kind of comes apart from time to time. It doesn't completely come apart, but it kind of gets a little loose when you put that onto his arm. The two black pieces, the top and bottom part. As you can see here, you see a little bit how it comes apart. Yeah, when you press down on it, it kind of comes apart. So I have to pull it back up again every time. Okay, this is the finger part. I wanted to show you guys how I bend these fingers. You could use your fingers like so, but it kind of gets a little strenuous. My fingers started hurting after a while, and it's better to use a tweezer. The same with the thumb here. You can actually bend this, and I didn't realize that until much later. When I did Megatron, I didn't even bend his thumb because I didn't know you could bend it. So I decided to use a tweezer. It was just getting a little too much for my fingers. Yeah, my nails were hurting trying to bend all those fingers, because I didn't bend just one, I bent all of them, so that's why I had to use a tweezer instead, because I was getting a little pain on my thumb there. Okay, so all the fingers have already been pre-bent, so we're good to go. Now it doesn't matter which fingers you put where, it's all the same length, I believe. It looks like it's all the same length, but the placement of it makes it look like it's longer. One part's longer than the other. The pinky's a little bit deeper in, so it looks like it's smaller. And I always have to bend the fingers, because every time when I put these fingers into the hand, I always put them the opposite way, the wrong way. So now when I put in the fingers, I always bend the fingers just to make sure I have it in the correct way. Yeah, this one was kind of tough for some reason. And that's like the pinky. As you can see, it looks like it's other fingers are longer than the others, but it's not. It's just the way they have it placed. And I try to bend all the fingers just to make sure I have them all in the right position. Once again, took me a while to figure out which way it's supposed to go in. Alright, we're done with the right hand and right arm. Well, I'm gonna assemble them here. Pretty simple and easy. Yeah, it's a little tough to snap it in there though. I'm glad the wrist is much easier to place than the Flame Toys one, the Megatron one. That was a real pain. Okay, so now we're gonna do the left arm. Pretty much the same procedure. And I've already forgotten how it's supposed to go. Yeah, I edit that one out because I couldn't figure it out. Took me a while. I'm kind of wondering what Blokees has in store for us in the future. Which other action figure models they're planning on bringing out. Yeah, I'm probably gonna skip the Megatron, the purple Megatron one. Don't really see the need to have that one since I already have the original Megatron. I would prefer other characters like Soundwave. Or actually, I mean Shockwave, not Soundwave. I would prefer Shockwave. I mean, I already have Soundwave. Shockwave would have been nice. Well, like I said before, Galvatron. Or even Bumblebee. Or maybe even Hot Rod. Hot Rod seems to be pretty hot right now in the action figure department. Yeah, but I gotta admit, right now I'm pretty happy with what I have. Optimus Prime, Megatron, Soundwave, and Tarn. And Blokees already starting out with a banger with Tarn. I really need to start reading the comics for Tarn. Not liking Tarn. Yeah, it's the wrong way. Just flip it around. See if it doesn't go in, just flip it around and you're good. And that reminds me, please subscribe and like. It helps me a lot as a small little content creator here. I don't have too many audiences, but if you like and subscribe, it gets to more people out there. Kind of tells YouTube that my videos are actually pretty good and they should recommend it to other viewers. That'll be very helpful to me, because right now I'm kind of limited by what I can do. Unless you have like 500 or 1,000 subscribers, I'm pretty limited. But I know it's only my second year doing this. I started last year in January, and now we're in January 2026. So it's been a year, and this is my second year doing this, so it's gonna take a while for me to build up an audience. I mean, I've seen other YouTubers who have been here on YouTube for like 5 years or 10 years, so they've built up over 100,000. Oh, and one guy actually like 500,000 subscribers. And I watch his stuff. He's got some really great stuff. I also went back and watched some of his older videos, and they were kind of like mine. Very low key kind of thing. Not really that professional looking. Yeah, we all have to start somewhere, you know. I know mine's not the greatest at the moment. I'm still trying to learn how to edit all these videos, make them better. But it's only my second year here. I'm still learning. It'll eventually get better and better. So yeah, please subscribe. It'll help me a lot. Well, subscribe and like. Like also helps. So I forgot this piece here. Just make sure you got that little notch. It goes together. Right there on the bottom. Yeah, luckily I didn't have to take it apart to put that piece in there. Totally forgot about it. And it's like deja vu here. Just built this one. Now the piece on the left doesn't come apart as often because you don't touch it as much. But yeah, definitely on the right where you put the cannon, you're gonna touch that part a lot, so it keeps coming apart. bend the fingers again. I don't know what I was doing there. And I used those tweezers to bend all the fingers ahead of time. You wanna do it ahead of time so you don't have to worry about it once it's in. And I've noticed that the fingers are pretty sturdy, so you don't have to worry about breaking them. As long as you can bend them, they're good. Just don't overdo it. And like I said, I recommend using the tweezers. One of those hobby tweezers. And I'm bending every finger just to make sure I have it in the right position. So the flat part should be the part that bends, and the not so flat part should be at the knuckles, as you can see here. I mean, the fingers look great and all. It's just the process of bending them that's a bit of a pain, literally. But they're good fingers compared to other fingers from other models. I mean, some of the Gundam models have pretty good fingers too. Good articulation. But I find that the Blokees one seems to be the best so far. It's just too bad that the Optimus Prime model doesn't have that finger. That kind of finger, because it was their first model, Action Edition model. Yeah, the Optimus Prime one has just like regular fingers that they're kind of static. Well, you couldn't like bend them outward and inward, but the knuckles itself doesn't really bend. The fingers don't really bend, only at the knuckles, at the ends where the fingers attached to the hand. Okay, so we're coming along to the leg, which happens to be the most complicated part of the build, I believe. Yeah, it's also the toughest part for me to build. Might also be the toughest part for you guys to build. So you gotta be very careful how you assemble these things, because if you make a mistake, it's difficult trying to remove it. And you'll see later that I did make a mistake. This part is the joint for the hip, and for some reason when I assembled it and put it into the crotch part, the torso, it didn't quite function properly, and it kind of came apart. I had to disassemble the whole leg part, take out the joints, and kind of reassembled it. And once I did that, it worked a little bit better for some reason. Maybe it just came loose when I tried to assemble it, because I did have to put a lot of force into it. Kind of broke it apart a bit. Now this part was a little confusing. I placed it incorrectly. Yeah, you're not supposed to put it right there. It's not supposed to go there. And I'm like forcing it in, trying to get it through the hole there, and it's not supposed to go in there. So I might have damaged it a little bit. It's supposed to go in that bottom part. I'm still trying to force it in there. Trying to figure out how it's supposed to go. Didn't quite look like the picture. That's why I was kind of confused. Yeah, it seems like it goes in, but it's not the correct position. So don't follow what I'm doing right now. I'm just showing you how you can make a mistake like this. See, now I finally figured it out. Had to take it apart. Just kind of try to pry it open like a can opener. And you'll see here when I take this apart, like you can see shavings of plastic coming off of it, like little dust of plastic. Look at that. See that? Dust of plastic, because it wasn't supposed to go in there. The hole was smaller. See, that's where it's supposed to go in. That bottom part. There you go. How it fits better. See, that's how it's supposed to fit. Yeah, so I think I damaged that hole a little bit. It is a little stiff to move though. Like I said, this is like the most complicated part of the build, the leg part. Yeah, it's still pretty tough trying to put that through the hole. I was trying to see if I placed it correctly this time. Had to stop for a moment. Took me a while. Finally got it in and got them in there. And once I finished assembling it, it was kind of difficult trying to move the legs and bend the knees Yeah, it was pretty stiff. I think I damaged it a little bit. And I love these little silver parts. I mean, that's what I love about the Optimus Prime one. They had like the silver, kind of shiny silver parts. But in the Megatron one, it wasn't as silvery. Didn't look as good. Well, it did for the leg, but not for anything else. And Megatron just happens to have a lot of silver on him. So they should have just painted all silver. And this part was a little confusing. I wasn't sure where it was supposed to go until I saw that. And the other piece will fit into it or over it. You'll see later. Once again, this gold piece looks kind of gold, which I love. Or at least it has an illusion of gold. And it kind of slots in at the bottom there. That one goes in through, and then you snap that part together. And here when I installed it, it's not completely flush. As you can see, there's a gap at the bottom there. And I thought there was something wrong. It wouldn't go flush, but it's not supposed to. It's already in, all the way in. And I was trying to force it in even more, thinking that it should be flush. I actually removed it and tried to see if I did something wrong. See here, I removed it, try to see if I did something wrong. Why wasn't it flush? And I couldn't figure it out. Then I was like, oh, I saw in the manual it wasn't completely flushed either, so I just left it. See, the leg's kind of stiff for the knee joint there. Okay, so here, I'm about to make a mistake. Oh, don't follow what I'm doing right now here. I forgot one piece. There's a black little piece that goes in between. That was a big mistake, so don't put that in there until you have that black piece inside the purple, in between the purple part there. And you'll see what I mean. Yeah, that was kind of a big mistake, because then I had to remove everything just to take that purple piece out. And these little red things are a nice touch. Nice little detail. Took me a while to figure out how it goes in though, because I had the wrong one. I had to switch out for the other one. So if it doesn't go in nicely, then maybe you need to switch out for the other one. I guess I had them mixed up. Yeah, I thought I was done with this whole thing once I assembled it. Pretty proud of myself there, until I realized that I forgot a piece. Yeah, there was still a piece sitting on my desk there, and I was like, wait, did I forget something? There you go. That's the little piece right there. And I was like, wait a minute, there's an extra piece here. It's supposed to go there. Oh boy. I was like, oh my god. So now I have to take it apart. It really was a pain trying to take it apart. I had to use the prior middle one. Took a while. As you can see, it took me a long time to take it apart. I had to really edit this out. A lot of editing. Must have been like 10 minutes or so. More like 5 minutes. And I think I actually damaged it a little bit. Yeah, there was some damage. Not too bad though, just a little bit. So that's why you don't wanna, yeah, you don't wanna forget anything. And this is why you wanna watch my videos, so you don't make a mistake like what I just did and end up damaging your models. Yeah, I damaged it a little bit. See, that little piece is supposed to go in there. Then I ended up putting it incorrectly. Yeah, not the smartest wood in the shed here. Had to switch it back around. And there you go. Finally got it. Boy, that little piece was a pain in the butt. Like, seriously. Took me a long time to remove all of that. Yeah, I tried to put that in there without taking it apart, but there's no way. I had to take it all apart in order to get that in there. As you can see, it's not too bad. There's some markings, some damaged parts there. Not too bad. Okay, now we're back to this again. Once again, this is a nice touch, having that red thing there. I mean, you can't really see it once it's installed. It just looks dark because there's no light coming out of it. Oh, wrong way. Not too smart there. Trying to make it fit, but it won't fit. Oh, finally, I figured it out. Once again, a nice touch to have all of these little details. These are actually the ankle joints. Yeah, it was a little complicated. Couldn't figure it out where it's supposed to go. There you go. So it looks like a half a crescent, and then the other half of the crescent kind of locks together like so. It's like a half a moon comes together like so. It's pretty a complicated joint system, which I don't think I've ever seen before. Not even on the Gundam models, I don't believe. Don't remember. Okay, so this is when it gets a little complicated. Yeah, I remember building something similar like this on the other models. So I remember it's supposed to go there. And this one took a little bit of time to figure it out. That goes in there. Yeah, I was trying to put it into the other slot. That one fits together. And the toes kind of bend upward, but once you put everything together, it doesn't bend all that much. See, the ankles kind of bend forward, backward, left and right. And for some reason, this piece here, it took me a while to figure it out, because I was trying to put it the wrong way. So this is the correct way. And I just love it when it snaps together. I think that's a very addictive sound when things snap together. And this feet part took me a while to figure this out. I was trying to put it on the bottom part, but it actually goes on the top part here. As you can see, it doesn't bend all that much anymore. It's pretty good bend though. Better than most models. This is pretty cool. This piece here goes into that other piece, or that other piece goes into this piece. You'll see. That silver piece kind of goes in there and makes it look like looks like a piston, which is pretty ingenious the way they did it. So that should be bent like that, and then placed in there just like that. Now on the other leg I did it the opposite way and that was a big mistake. I had to take it apart. It's a little stiff. I keep forgetting that I really need to bend it a few times and flex it a few times before putting it into the model, before finishing it. See here, that little silver thing goes into the gold thing, and it just looks like a piston, and it looks nice though. Makes it look high-end, I guess, more expensive than it actually is. You can twist left and right, forward and backwards. It's pretty cool. I like that. And you don't have to color it gold because it's already gold and silver. So no painting needed. Okay, now for the left leg. Pretty much the same stuff, except this time I didn't forget that little piece. Kind of learned my lesson. Wasn't gonna make the same mistake twice. And if you're all still listening and watching me talk here, I really appreciate it. Thank you for sticking around. And just as a side note, if any of you ever watch my unboxing videos, and you might wonder why I take so much time with it and showing every single piece and also showing every page of the manual, that's because I wanted to be more of a reference point. So those unboxing videos are actually a reference. So if you lost the piece, you could always go to my unboxing and take a look at which piece you lost and how it's supposed to look and what number it belongs to, which piece belongs to which number. So maybe if you broke a piece or you lost the piece and you don't know what it is, you could always go back to that unboxing video. Same thing with the manual. If you lost your manual, or maybe your dog ate it, whatever, you could always go back to my unboxing video and look at those manuals, and you'll be able to read through it without the manual, without having your manual, and just use mine. So I use the unboxing as a reference, not just for you guys, but also for my own use, just in case I need to use it. And that's why my unboxing videos seems a little long and boring. But you know, I try to punch it up a little bit with the music. Let's have some nice music in the background. But it really doesn't matter to me who watches the unboxing, because that's mostly for my own use and for those who need that reference. And there have been times where I've taken parts out of the runners and then I threw away the runners and I have a bunch of pieces on my desk and I don't remember which piece is which and what goes where. And I could always use my unboxing to take a look, but I haven't though. I haven't really used it because I have the manual, so. So that's just in case you're building it and, well, after you finish building it and a piece broke, like a year later or something, and you want to know what piece that is that you need to get, you could always go back and look at the unboxing video and see what that piece is. And you can like maybe ask Bandai for a new piece, or Blokees for a new piece or something like that. So you could always tell them, I need J12. J12 broke, so I need J12. So they know exactly which piece that is. Oh, and speaking of runners, there's actually a lot of runners in this piece, in this build. There's like 333 pieces, I believe. Let me check. Yep, 333 pieces. Oh, there's a lot of pieces here. It's probably more, I'm not sure, it might be more than the other ones that I've done. I just started putting in piece count in the description. So if you've never been to the description, just take a look at my description and you'll see a bunch of information. Once again, as reference. Not for you guys and for me. So I know how many pieces are in each build. And I also added difficulty level. Because of that, the Megatron Flame Toys one, yeah, that's when I started adding difficulty level. So you guys know before you buy it. Just look in the description. Yeah, that Megatron was 5 out of 5. And this one has a difficulty level of 3 out of 5. Mostly because there's a lot of pieces and it's a little difficult to assemble some of them. As you can see, I kind of struggle with a few here and there, especially with the waist part. That was very difficult trying to squeeze them together. And if you don't have pliers, it might be even more difficult for you. So I don't know how you're supposed to put that together. Gotta be really strong or get something to push it together. Yeah, my description, I also have the manufacturer, the grade, the scale, the model name, model number, model year, the universe that's this character is supposed to be in, which is the Transformers comic version. the pieces, how many pieces there are, and difficulty level. So I don't, if you guys never went to the looked at the description, then you really didn't know how much work I actually put into this video. Every one of these videos, I do put in a lot of work into it. That's why I would really appreciate it if you subscribe and like my videos. I do a lot of work on these. Not to mention the commentary, the editing, and all that other stuff, and the timestamp. And I went back and added a bunch of sound, who created the music and the sound and all that stuff. Just in case you like the music, you could always go into the description and check out who made that music. And most of my music is from Epidemic Sound. So if you don't have Epidemic Sound, it might be a little difficult trying to get that music. And I've been thinking of doing some extra stuff for like channel members if I get enough members. That's why I need at least 500 or 1,000 subscribers for me to start doing channel members. And I have stuff that I wanted to do, but since I don't have enough subscribers, I can't do them. And that's the problem. That's why I need your help. And I need you guys to subscribe. About 96% of you who are watching this are not subscribed. And like I said, it limits me on what I can and can't do. The amount of work I do in these videos is just staggering. I spend all my time doing this. It's either building, shooting the video, editing, doing commentaries, doing the thumbnails, then rendering it, and then uploading all 3 videos. Unboxing, 4x speed, and full build. That's 3 videos. That's why you'll see like little videos of the little Blokees, because that gives me time to build the bigger ones, because it takes some time to build the bigger ones, especially like this Tarn one. Takes me like a couple of weeks. And luckily, because of the snowstorm, I was able to have time to work on it. Didn't have to go to work or anything. And even now, as I'm filming this, as I'm doing the commentary, it's snowing outside. And I'm supposed to be working, but they called off work because of it. So now I have time to do the commentary. So I guess it's I'm lucky in that fashion. But at the same time, I'm not getting paid. And I'm definitely not getting paid by YouTube to do this. But yeah, if you don't want to subscribe, that's okay. I mean, I can understand. I've had a couple of people that I watch and I don't really subscribe, but I still watch their videos. So if you want to continue watching without subscribing, that's fine. I'm all good. But yeah, it would really be helpful if you do subscribe. Oh, excuse me. I think I just burped. And I think in my last video, I said that Megatron, when I was building Megatron, I have one more flame toys to build. Then I actually just remembered that I have another flame toys on order. So that's coming later on. So I guess I have 2 more flame toys to build. I don't know how difficult it's gonna be. In a way, I'm kind of dreading it a little bit, knowing how difficult it was to build Megatron. Oh, and I also got the Defender version, the whole entire set, the 4 and 5. So I'll be doing a lot of videos for those. I hope you don't mind if you see a whole bunch of those. I know people could get bored of those, but I like doing them like individually. I'd rather have a video of each one have its own time, its own video. And of course, eventually I'm gonna build Blokees. I still have to get Devastator. I'll eventually build all of them, because the little mini defenders are pretty cute. I love those. Here, you see I made a mistake here. I had to go back and fix it. I didn't even notice it as I was talking. Too busy talking, I didn't realize I had it the wrong way there. And I did say earlier that I did make a mistake. So here we go. I'm gonna build the whole thing now. We're coming close to the end. So this part was pretty tough, trying to push it in there. It's easier if you bend it out like that and push it in. That skirt part kind of gets in the way a little bit. Yeah, you see it kind of comes apart once you push it in there. Had to, that hip part kind of broke apart a bit. And I had to squeeze it back together again. See how it came apart? I have to squeeze it back together. Yeah, later on I actually took it apart and had to squeeze them together again and put them back, and it's better. Has pretty good articulation though. As you can see there, I had that leg split. So you can definitely do the leg split if you need to. This piece here, it almost seems like it wasn't completely in. You have to make sure it kind of pops in. And it also looks like it's not completely in once it's popped in, but it's in. Yeah, even though it's popped, it's not completely in, if I recall. So make sure it's flush. I tried to show it, but it's hard to see. Yeah, that's hard to see there. It's completely flush against the other piece, against the joint. And as you can see, the little wings on the chest kind of gets in the way. When I try to move the shoulder and the arm, that little piece gets in the way. Alright, here's the finished piece. And for the 4X version, this is probably where I'm gonna stop it, because I only want to show Tarn in the 4X speed. But in the full build, we're gonna continue on with the other stuff, the accessories and whatnot. And Nickel, can't forget about it. I don't know if it's a he or she. I think on YouTube they were saying it's a she, but then others mention it as a he. But I guess it's a it, since it's a robot. Looking pretty good. I love it. A lot of detail, a lot of intricacies. And here's the light. If you do it once, the light goes on. You do it the second time, it starts kind of breathing in and out. And it does it like 4 times before it goes off. There you go. Like 4 times. That's it. I thought that was a nice touch. And this phone thing, I don't know what's up with that. I think that was in the comics. He uses the little 80s handheld phone. But I'm not gonna bother with that. I just assemble them and put them aside into storage. That's it. Not gonna use it. Here's the dual fusion cannon. Now this thing got a little confusing when I was building it. Yeah, there was a lot of holes, so I got a little confused which hole it was supposed to go into. And that silver part there, there's a top and bottom part, so make sure you got it in the right position. The top part is the bigger part, the bottom part's the little part, or smaller part. Now these cannons aren't very strong, as I've noticed. Because they're not like one whole piece. They're like separate pieces, so it's a little weak. You definitely don't want to bend it, because you could break that plastic, the red plastic. I actually tried bending it a little bit and twisting it, and it felt very weak, like I could have broken it. This handle was a little bit difficult to figure out. Took me a while. And after the build, I totally forgot that this part could move. You can move it slightly up and down. See, that's the handle. Yeah, I was wondering what that piece was. Took me a while to figure it out. It was in the plastic. So that's not the piece that you can clip out of the runners. It's from the plastic casing or bag. There's a lot of pieces that goes in this cannon. That's why it took a while to build this. Make sure you have this in the right position. There's a little hole. You'll see later. Here you go. There's that little hole there and that little peg there. It goes in there. Yeah, before it wasn't really holding. It wouldn't come together until I figured that out. There's a little notch there. Make sure it goes in correctly. There you go. You see it slides up. Yeah, it's not very sturdy. Gotta be careful not to bend it or twist it. You can break it. Now this piece is a little bit less complicated, but still you need to have that little part in the top and the larger, I don't know how you call it, the larger bar on the bottom. It's the only way that it'll go in this little handle here. This little piece took a while to figure out. It's an attachment for the handle that swings in and out. And here's the handle itself. Oh no, wait. Yeah, that wasn't an attachment for the handle. That was the attachment for the door for the handle. Yeah, that's it. I forgot about that. That red thing there on the bottom, really didn't need it, because you can't really see it. But it's a nice touch knowing that it's there. It's much simpler than the other one. Yes, the door for it. You flip that open and take the handle out, then put it back down. Well, put the door back down, and the handle comes out on that little hole. This one also makes sure you're getting in the right place. You need to have that hole be aligned with the other hole, if you know what I'm saying here. See that hole there? Has to align with the other hole right there, like that. One on top, one on the bottom. Because the attachment will go right in there. And this other piece here, that's what it attaches to get both cannon guns attached together. That little claw thing, that goes into the bottom part. If you look carefully. Nope, not that way. That's the opposite. There you go. I had to take it apart. Goes the opposite way. That claw thing goes into the other part there, the larger part. See? Yeah, the guns feels very flimsy, not very sturdy. But it looks pretty cool though, once you put it together. And I actually tried to put the both of them together, like in the image, where you create like one long cannon gun, but it didn't quite work for me. You'll see later. So I just want to show you how it looks. So I'm gonna try to attach them together, but it doesn't really attach that well. I don't really recommend trying to put them together like this, like what I'm about to do. So you have to remove the end part there. There's a little notch for you to pry open. And there's a hole for it to go in, but it doesn't go in all the way. I don't understand it. In the picture it looks like it goes in all the way in, but in reality it doesn't. It just stops right there. So there's a hole exposed there. So, which I don't really like. So I couldn't get it to look exactly like what's in the picture. And also when I try to pose it, try to have him hold it, I couldn't get him to hold it like in the picture. Like I couldn't at all. So I don't know how they actually did it. I just decided not to do it. I mean, I can get him to just kind of hold it, but then it looks a little phallic. Phallic, I mean. So I didn't want to get demonetized or anything like that, or get a strike for doing something like that. So I didn't include the pictures. Didn't bother with that. Yeah, might have been a little overkill to have such a long gun sticking out. And this nickel thing here, it's kind of a little cheap, I would have to say. Seems like an afterthought. Not that great. Yeah, I wasn't very impressed with nickel. It just seemed very plain. Not much to it at all. Whereas with the Soundwave one, you've got, you know, Ravage and Ratbat and Laserbeak and Rumble, and they look pretty good. They have like different colors to them that's more realistic to the cartoon and comic books. But this one is like totally out of left field. Doesn't look anything like the comic books, at least I don't think, because I've actually seen the images on YouTube. So it's kind of makes it look a little cheap, and it actually doesn't look that great right next to Tarn. I mean, right now I have nickel standing right next to Tarn, but I might actually remove it because it kind of ruins the aesthetic. I mean, Tarn looks fantastic. It looks high-end, but then nickel kind of looks low-end, cheap. And that's why when I saw the Yellow Park one with nickel that looks more comic accurate, and I had to get that. That would have been a better looking nickel. And here I want to put the thrusters in just in case I couldn't once I put them together like that. Just in case. Yeah, on the comic books, nickel isn't all blue like this, or light blue. It's actually a little silver here and there, dark here and light there. So it's got some nice coloring, but this version is just completely blue and silver and black. Yeah, might actually move nickel to another location and leave Tarn by himself. So it looks much more looks much better by himself. I guess they did a lot of work on Tarn that they didn't have the time or the money to do nickel, so they just slapped it together. Yeah, they pretty much just snapped it together and say, well, that's good enough. We're good. We're done. But still love the Tarn character though. The Tarn model kit. Yeah, I noticed it's actually easier to snap it from one side instead of from the top. It's easier to snap it from the bottom. Yeah, I was kind of surprised the wheel actually moves a bit. So when I put these pieces together, it almost doesn't look like it's a flush, but it actually is. See, it doesn't look like it's flush, but it is flush. I think they built it that way so it's not completely flush. There's some panel linings, I guess you can call them. I was trying to press it together as hard as I could to get it to be flush, but that's as far as it'll go. It's already flush. Yeah, see, there's a gap there. It's supposed to be there. So don't press too hard, and might break it. It moves a bit, not too much. Okay, so I'm placing this backwards here, so you'll see I had it correctly before, then I turned it around. Now we're looking at the back of the legs. This is the back of the legs, and this is just like a smoke coming out of his wheels, or it's supposed to be. And it's a stand for him, or her, or it. As you can see here, I'm placing it the wrong way. See, that's the back of the leg. I'll figure it out eventually here, once I install it. That's what happens when you don't really look at the manual. Because I thought I could do this without looking at the manual. And I was like, wait a minute, the knees can't bend. So I didn't even notice it until after I'm done. And I was like, the knees doesn't bend. How do I bend the knees? There you go. I figured out. Gotta turn it around. And that's the front part. Now you could actually bend its knees. So you really can't display it without that smoke stuff there. It's a little display stand for nickel. And this is the display stand, which I've done multiple times already. I just figured I'll fast forward through all this. It's pretty simple and easy. You can still see what I'm doing. It's easier if you put that piece in there first and then put that little piece in. Yeah, I didn't want to bore you guys with this. I've done this multiple times already. It's the same stuff. I thought about maybe not doing it at all, but then I figured some of you might not have seen this in previous videos, so you might not know how to assemble it. So I just include it anyway. So if you need to see the whole thing in slower version, just do -2 speed. -2x speed, that is. Don't need the other one. There was another attachment that you could attach other stuff to it, but you don't need it because there's no attachment for this one. And of course this one comes with the transformers, different than the other action figures, action edition, which I kind of like this one better. It's smaller, not as big and bulky as the other one. And here's the finished piece with the gun cannon, the fusion cannon. And really a great model. I love this model. Probably my favorite so far for 2026. And I'm kind of curious and excited to see what's coming up next with Blokees and their action edition. But of course I'm gonna be skipping the Megatron, purple Megatron one. And we'll see which other ones they come out with. Alright, well that's it. Thank you for watching and listening to my commentary. And please like and subscribe if you want to see more of this. And thank you, and you guys have a good day or good night. Alright, see you. Bye bye.